to keep it educated within the month of October? It's by fulfilling all your deepest, spookiest desires.
Ooh.
And that's by watching some of the movies that myself and my co-host Felipe,
That's me.
and what's my name?
Elmo.
As we discuss what are some fabulous Halloween horror picks for you before we hit the end of the month of October.
That's right. And you know what? Listen, if you by any chance are listening to this in November or December, these are still very good.
It's a good time.
But we are releasing this in concurrence. That's a word, right? In October. We're going to breeze past that. That's a word. It is now. All right?
I concur.
Thanks. So yeah, we each have a pick today about our some horror movies you should definitely check out.
And this is episode 3 technically, so they can go back to the 2 previous ones to hear some more recommendations.
Yeah, if you like what we have to say now, go back, listen to the previous ones. See if you agree. And then if you haven't seen them, watch them. Come back, comment, let me know how right I was about how great this movie is.
You do have some good picks here.
Yeah.
Well, what is your first pick for this third entry into our...
You want me to begin?
I want you to begin.
Oh boy, oh boy. Okay. Let me just start real quick by saying I do not like the first one of this movie at all. Okay?
I don't think I've actually seen.
Yeah,
so you're going to have to sell me on this.
You were not here that day, unfortunately, and you missed out, boy, let me tell you. So my pick is called Luigi, Origin of Evil. And I want to stress, this is the sequel, which is technically a prequel.
So start with that one.
Vaguely to the point where it doesn't even matter, ties into the first one. Okay? And the first one was not a good movie. So I want to stress that enough. And because of that, I actually think that this movie might have slipped some people's radar because that first one was not good. So they're like, well, the second one ain't going to be good either. I gave it a chance. And let me tell you, it delivered. Okay.
I mean, it must have, if you're going to bring it up as one of your well, what is your third and possibly final recommendation?
For now. We'll do more in the future if this does well. Yeah, this freaking movie right here, man. Let me just get to explaining what the synopsis is here. It centers around a family that scams their clients with the mom posing as a medium. So the mom poses as a medium at her own home. Clients come over, pay to connect with dead relatives and everything like that. And the family helps out. So the little girl is like in the piano, hitting the things to make it like there's someone there. Mm-hmm. There's someone else controlling like the table to move and the lights to go out and everything. So it's a whole family operation. Just the mom and 2 daughters. The dad has passed. Okay. Eventually, business is slow, so they start to introduce a Ouija board to add more variety to their act. Okay, Ouija board is getting kind of big during these times. I think this is set somewhere in the 70s or 80s, something like that. Okay, older times, and the Ouija board is kind of gaining popularity. Okay, while practicing, the board actually works, and they do connect with the spirit and possesses the youngest daughter in the family. And I'll just leave it there because I'm just explaining the synopsis of what you see in the trailer. So no major spoilers there. The movie had some horrifying visuals and was truly, truly frightening. There were times where all 3 of us, and this was me, my wife, and a relatively strong-willed friend of ours who is tall, who is there.
And I mean, that's more
referencing.
Yes, I know.
Okay,
more
okay.
Courage the taller they are, really.
Okay, anyways. I'm just trying to let you know without let him know his name. He's relatively sturdy when it comes to the movies. Not too much phases him, He gets frightened.
Stone-faced.
Sure. There were times where all 3 of us were screaming at the exact same time, looking at the ridiculousness that was happening on the screen. Elmo, this movie goes places. Not like weird places you haven't seen, but it's creepy, man. It's really creepy and really scary. It's very loud and just horrifying. It is. I didn't even. Do not miss this one. People out there listening. Ouija, Origin of Evil. If you're looking for just a horrifying time, you will get it with this film. This is, of all of the recommendations I've done, of all three of them that I've done so far, I would say this is probably the most movie nighty one, if that makes sense. If you got a crowd of people and you all there to just having a good time, this is the one.
Well, you want to ruin their time.
No, you'll have a good time. Here's the deal with horror movies. Much better with people. If you're watching these by yourselves, you're not going to have a good time. If there's people there to bring light to certain situations and make jokes, you will have a much better time. And this movie is very, very good. That is my pick. Ouija, Origin of Evil.
Okay, so we're into the Elmo pick here. And this is an odd one. I would actually say if you are not familiar with horror films, you should not watch the movie that I'm about to recommend.
I forgot your third pick already.
Okay. Did you really?
Yes, I did.
Okay. This is a movie that honestly, I think it works as the final horror movie you ever watch.
Oh.
So like if you're on a streak of horror movies, I think this is what you end on. Like a movie that I feel is a celebration of horror movies. And it has the most basic of titles. Cabin in the Woods.
I've seen it before, Elmo. What can you do to sell me on this very boring title? They must have not have done this on purpose.
This is a movie that I think the title almost does it a disservice because you go in expecting like pretty much the most generic boilerplate.
I think that they do that on purpose.
They do that on purpose.
Okay.
And the movie starts and hits every single stereotype. But however, you know what's not a stereotype? How handsome Chris Hemsworth is in this movie.
And this is before he packed on 400,000 pounds of muscle. And he was still looking great.
So if you want to see Thor at his finest, at his most normal, relatively normal.
Yeah. Still.
He does a fantastic job.
Yeah.
But this is a movie that it plays with the stereotypes. If you're used to what horror brings to the table, this movie presents it to you and then picks it apart.
Mm-hmm.
And then goes further to pick it apart.
Yeah, this is one of those movies that is very difficult to really recommend without spoiling it. Mm-hmm. Because spoiling it sounds stupid. Mm-hmm. But we'll spoil it. And that's the best way to describe it is once you get to that point when you're seeing what this movie's doing, freaking genius.
Mm-hmm. I've heard people say they don't like this movie. And I find that the people who don't like this movie are the ones who, and then this isn't always the case. I have one friend in particular, she would argue with me right now if I said this and made it such a blanket statement.
Real quick, you said ex-friend, right? Because if they don't like this movie,
I gotta kick them to the curb. But this is a film that I've found that a lot of people who aren't as experienced with horror end up not liking. It confuses them. Mm-hmm. So this is a movie you definitely want to go into with some experience. I think it's the movie you end on, or it's the penultimate movie before you finish off the month of October. That's why I wanted to leave it for last. You don't start with this, you end.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And it's kind of a love letter to all horror movies. So I would say it's a great way to kiss Halloween goodbye.
It's going to be sad.
Mm-hmm. And if you're doubting me, watch one of the trailers. Because they give you a little bit of a tease.
Try to watch one of the original trailers. I know as the movie has been re-released on like Blu-ray and stuff, then they're really kind of showing you what it's about. Are they? Watch the original Cabin in the Woods trailer just to kind of see what to expect, but you will not see it coming. And it's so good.
It's. I feel like it's such a celebration of horror that though I would say I wasn't very scared throughout.
No, there's not really.
No,
a couple things, sort of jump scares.
If you're not familiar with horror, you would probably get scared often.
Right.
But this is just like I want to watch. I want to be in that horror mood.
Yeah.
But I want to love horror.
Yeah, and you want to have just a great old time.
Mm-hmm. So I'm not gonna give anything else away. Cabin in the Woods is the movie you wanna kiss Halloween goodbye with.
Okay.
Give it a little snuggle.
Give a little smooch.
Little Eskimo kiss. I love you, horror. This is why we need a video podcast.
I did not want to
see what I just.
No, audience, be happy you did not see what I just saw. Okay. Well, that is a very good pick, and the reason I didn't choose that because I knew you would choose that one or choose that one. So
I've been talking about that movie for years.
Yeah, and it deserves the praise and the talk. So those were our third and for the moment final picks for some horror recommendations during this magnificent month of October. Month. I think I said month. I don't know what I said. Let us know what you think about our choices today. If you haven't seen them, watch them. Come back. Comment.
Like this video, possibly.
Like it.
And you can find us on alternative sources such as iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Podbean, and a bunch of others that I didn't upload them, but they're there.
Yeah, weird things.
Check out Educated Discussions. We have longer and more discussions on those feeds.
And if you're already on one of these feeds, go check us out on YouTube. You know, I put some visuals up there every now and then. I make the thumbnail. Go see my work.
That last one was a pretty good thumbnail.
I know. I was proud of that one. Not get many views, but we'll get there. As we become bigger. So, anyways, also follow us on Twitter
at _discussions.
And don't forget, everybody, during the special month of October, don't forget to keep it educated. Hey, we did it that time. Third episode. All right. Keep the discussions.